G'day and welcome to this week's edition of the Advocate Footy Wrap. We're here again at Ulverston. Coley, you're looking a little bit more comfortable. You've had the feathers trimmed and you're in a jumper that actually fits you this week.
Yeah, it's had the ears lowered on one of my days off this week, and yeah, this jumper's just a bit more breathing room, in fair to say, John, rather than one that was pretty much spray painted onto me last week, which just didn't feel right.
Is that a double XL?
It's just a double XL. Last week's was an XL. You'd think it was about a small though. It was. They certainly don't make them for overweight footy fans these days. They make them for the players, and they're pretty much skin tight. So I don't think I'll be playing footy anytime soon.
1 week to go, Coley, until a pretty interesting final series in both the NTFL and the TSL. I guess we'll start off as always in the NTFL.
Yep.
First game of the week, East Devonport Ulverston.
Yeah, obviously not much to play for here for both teams. Ulverston staying in second spot. East will want to put together a good performance, I think, for their last game of the season. I know Ross Harris was very disappointed in the way his team played in that second half last week against Latrobe. They were always going to get beat, but it's the way you play, and they certainly they threw it in the towel there, I think, at times, the East players. Do
the Robins have a chance to, I mean, without any disrespect to East Devonport, I mean, their reserves could beat the Swans on the weekend. Do they wrap a few of their stars up in cotton wool, or do you want players in good form coming into the finals?
No, I think the Robins have had a few injuries this year. They want blokes playing this week just to make sure they're cherry ripe come final. I think they've, and I'm sure Justin Hayes, their coach, has got a couple of things he wants to work on. So I reckon they'll go full tilt, because you've got to take good form in the finals, I think. And obviously they've got the biggest test coming up against Wynyard in a fortnight. Game
of the round, this one. Not a lot on the line either, but they play again in a week's time. Yep. Penguin and Latrobe. Very interesting. This one's at Pertec Oval. The game next Sunday will be at Latrobe.
This is the most intriguing match around, I think. They're all dead rubbers, but this has certainly got a bit of intrigue. Are both coaches just going to play their card, keep the cards close to their chest, and not give away too many secrets come next week? What do you reckon? Yeah,
it was an interesting. I spoke to Peter Templeton after last week's loss to Wynyard. They were pretty respectable in the second half after being blown away in the opening couple of quarters. But he said no, they won't be holding any cards close to their chest. He said it'll be all guns blazing. If they can get a mental edge on Latrobe, then that may help. Obviously, they're going to go into that first final as the underdogs, as you would, trying to go over to Latrobe and play the reigning premiers. Final game, Wynyard travel all the way down to Circular Head for their final game of the year. It's only probably 45 minutes down the road for them, but it's a long trip all the same.
Yeah, look, Smithton probably been a disappointment this year in the league. I think there was high hopes. They'd
good list on paper.
Good list on paper. Just their road form again's been a worry against the big teams, and I think they want to make a statement this last home game. I think they want to go out with a bang, and I reckon they'll challenge a few of these Wynyard blokes physically.
Physically?
Oh, look, they've got some hard-bodied midfielders, Smithton, who can lay a good bump and can lay a good tackle, and I think Wynyard will know they've played a game by about 4:30 Saturday afternoon, I think.
Yeah, well, Coach Errol Bourne said after they lost Calla Balford last week, which looks like it's going to be a season-ending injury, he said we can't afford any more injuries coming to the final. So look, they might do the same as Ulverston and rest a few of their stars.
Rightio, Jordan, moving along to TSL now. What a tale of woe. We've got no coastal teams in the finals. I know. Your Burnie boys cooked her.
I'll put my hand up for that one. I'll put my hand up.
2 weeks ago they were second premiership favourites.
Well, they actually were on the betting markets too. Well, they just lost 2 tight contests, and such was the latter. That two tight losses, and they're out of the finals contention, unfortunately. Like I said a few weeks ago, I think a few of the teams in the final will be,
happy Burnie out there.
Pretty happy to Burnie out there with all the experience and in their side. But anyway, we'll move on to this week's games. Not a lot on the line. Will they unveil a lot of youngsters, do you think?
Oh, they're a fair choice, fair call, I mean. Andrew Herring's in his teams that come through on Thursday night. The youngsters are there. They sort of don't, they're inclusions, but don't quite get to the final team. But I think he's a chance to probably give a few a run this week and just see what they're made of.
They're obviously travelling up to Launceston to take on the Blues. Not easy up there. I think Lonnie have improved.
Yeah, no, Lonnie's certainly better than what they were at the start of the year. So it'd be a good test for Burnie. It'd be nice to see them go out with a win though. I think they have been a reasonable team all year. It's not like they've been a bad team. So I think if they come away with a loss, it'd really really put a sour end to the season, I think. But I think they can win.
You're absolutely right, though. In between the NTFL Grand Final and the State League Grand Final, that week's going to be pretty light on for the Advocate boys.
If any TSL coaches want to get sacked or something, just give us a ring. We're happy to write a story about you.
The other game, obviously, Devonport.
Yeah, I'll be at that game against Lauderdale. Again, Lauderdale still got a little bit to play for in terms of their final finishing position. So they want a really good effort. They've probably been one of the informed teams in the last month of TSL football. They've been really impressive, taking some big scalps. But Devonport at home, they've been really. Their form's been pretty sound there all year and taking some big scouts themselves. And I'm sure Maxie Brown will have his boys pumped up for a big match against the Southern Bombers.
And obviously up in Launceston, the Storm take on North Launceston. If the Storm win, they'll seal up top spot.
Yep.
But if they lose, then I think Clarence take on the lowly Tigers, so they'll give them a touching up, and Clarence will finish top after they were in free fall a week ago. They beat the Dockers, and now all of a sudden they could become minor premiers.
The smelling of roses again. That North Launceston Western Storm match, I get the feeling from reading in the Launceston media they don't like each other. It could be it could be a bit of it could be some skirmishes, I think.
There might be a few boys not playing in the first week of the final.
Well, let's hope not, but it could be a quite entertaining encounter.
Moving on to the segment that everyone's been waiting for, Coley.
I can't wait. All 11 of our followers can't wait for this.
Good call, bad call. You're up first. You got the new ball.
Yep.
A big name playing coach.
Big.
Mitch Thorpe, basically, is exactly what Devonport need to continue the climb up the TSL ladder.
Ooh. Yeah, good call. Good call, Jordan. No, and certainly no disrespect to the job Max Brown's done. Maxie's done a fantastic job there at the Oval as the birds go past and just make a bloody noise again.
Get out of the way, Galars.
God help me. Nah, look, Max has done a terrific job with that team, and for what, they're still a very young team. A smattering of older players, but they're still a very young team. But there, someone like a Mitch Thorpe who's such a presence on the field, and I'm sure he'd drag a few players there as well. So
drag people through the gates too.
I watched, after watching him last year in the TSL Grand Final for South Launceston, he's a big name player, big time player, and certainly Devonport would benefit from something like that, especially up forward with Aaron McNabb, and they'd really give him a really potent forward line. So good call, I think, Jordan.
I don't understand the move by the TSL not to allow someone to drive an hour up the road to coach a side, but let's move on. Anyway, we can talk about that all day.
I could. Jordan, Burnley need an injection of pace into their midfield to get back into finals contention in 2015.
Yeah, it's absolute great call, Coley. Good call. That's exactly what they lacked this year. They lost, obviously, Eli Templeton and Brady Gray in the off-season to their respective AFL clubs, and got the experience and the hardness, but you need some outside runners on these good grounds that the State League players play on. Western Storm have it, North Launceston have it. Not real sure about Clarence, but I suppose they have it too. Good call. A key forward wouldn't go astray either. If Andy Lee doesn't go around again, they lack that big tall.
Yep.
Coley, the NTFL made the right call in awarding Wynyard a home final for the first time since 1948. Would you believe it, Brad?
I think Danny Clark just started at the Advocate then too.
That's not very nice. I hope he's not watching.
Nah, you're right, Danny. Good call. Good call, I think, Jordan. They deserve. Wynyard deserve. The ground is in pretty reasonable nick. Last year was just an abomination with all the weather we'd had. The ground had turned to mud, but this year the ground's in much better condition. The Wynyard club themselves put on a fantastic day of football and that. So
good savs too. Great
savs at Wynyard. Good big solly bag too. Can't complain there.
It's got to spin the wheel at half time.
Just what kids like.
It's a fanfare.
It is. Look, good ground, good club. They'll do a great job of hosting finals, and richly deserved, I think. Jordan, Shannon Bakes is 38. Good call or bad call?
That's a bad call, Coley. I'm not sure where you've got that Shannon Bakes is 38 years old.
Well, a little birdie whose initials are Shannon Bakes sent me a little message on Facebook the other day after a story had broken that he could be on the comeback trail to the seniors team this year, and just wanted me to pass on to you, Jordan, that he hasn't quite reached 38 yet. You just have to take off 4 years, and you're at his age. So what have you got to say to Shannon, Jordan?
I stitched you up, Shannon. I apologise sincerely, mate. I hope you get back in the seniors, and if you do make your comeback, I'll be sure to let everyone know you're 34 and not 38.
No, Jordan, good man, Jordan. So you're always strong-willed character. Good work, mate. That's all for this week's Advocate Footy video. Next week, bumper finals edition.
Huge.
No TSL finals edition.
Tune in though.
Tune in. NTFL. Bang.
Shit.
Oh, that got ragged there at the end.
It did. Oh well.